Welcome back to the channel, and unfortunately for you, we got another video on the F250 today. We're getting rid of this junky old tailgate. That's right, folks, we're getting rid of the factory tailgate on our 99 F250. Reason being is it is just scratched up, dented up, we're missing the top plastic rail, and the hinges on this thing are just absolutely awful. Feels like it's hardly connected. What we've actually done is gone on Facebook Marketplace, and local to me, I found a 2008 F250 tailgate with the integrated step ladder paint matched in our F1 red. And here it is, folks. This is our 2008 F250 Super Duty tailgate. And this thing looks pretty sweet. We've got the big Ford emblem back here. We've got the Super Duty embossed in the lower part of the tailgate. And we got the fold out step up top. Now, unfortunately, this has a broken piece on the step. It looks like someone tried to glue it at one point, but that's okay because fresh from Amazon, we get some reproduction parts here. And personally, I think it looks great. The fitment, I have no idea yet. We'll see how that goes. One thing you're gonna wanna do if you choose to upgrade your tailgate to the newer model from the 2008, 2016s is you're gonna wanna get some of these hinges. The hinge shapes are different on the 99 to 07, and it is very, very important that you get the correct hinges or this tailgate will never mount upright. Now, before we get this thing thrown on the truck, I would like to repair that top step and get this thing polished because it is absolutely covered in bird shit and it really could use a nice shine. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, well, we got the new cap on, and oh, there's a little bit of disparity in the plastics there, so we might try to hit some of this with our Sonax products and see if we can bring that plastic back. But this thing works awesome. Ended up having to use the new rods. I wanted to use the factory ones, but they were a little bit too big. And we did reuse the factory springs, and man, those things are a pain to get back in there. But we are good to go, and it looks good. So let's go ahead and get this thing a little cleaned up, hit it with a quick polish, and throw it on the truck. All right, we gave it a quick wipe down, and it doesn't look too bad, but there are a lot of swirls and scratches in the paint and some imperfections here in the clear coat. And what I'm gonna do is hit this thing with a clay pad, and man, if you're doing any kind of decent amount of paint correction, I highly recommend you get one of these auto scrub clay pads. These things are outstanding. And I've got the 5-inch version here. I think they make a 6-inch pad as well. But this makes very, very quick work of claying any of your paint and getting rid of contaminants. I'm gonna hit it with some of this auto scrub glide here for a lubricant, do a quick couple passes and take a look and see how it looks. And yeah, that feels pretty good. I'm actually seeing some of the paint imperfections because pretty sure this was repainted. I'm actually seeing some dirt nibs underneath the clear coat here, and we might actually be able to knock that down with some correcting on this. But again, this isn't meant to be perfection. I'm just gonna make it look somewhat nice. And there you go. You can see it looks pretty good. But if you come here in the finish, you can still see there's some junk in it, and I'm just not super excited about that, so I will be breaking out my Griot's Fast Correcting Cream, and we're gonna do a couple passes here and just call it good. Again, not looking for perfection, just looking to do great with what we got in front of us. All right, well, there we go. We finished our few passes with the orbital. I started out with that microfiber Meguiar's pad, and then I moved to my Smart Pads Blue using Fast Correcting Cream for both. And I am by no means a professional, but you know, I think that looks pretty good considering the paint job that was on there. This is an aftermarket paint job after all, so it's not going to be that perfect factory finish. But now to address this disparity in the plastic. This just looks so old and tired. I'm going to try some of this F250, and this is a maintenance rub for any kind of plastic or rubber trim pieces, and it's supposed to be able to bring back the shine. I've never used it. I got this a while back in a goodie bag from Auto Geek, so we're going to try it out today and see how it works. And there we go, just a quick pass of the F250, and you know, that looks pretty good. I don't know how long this is going to last. I've seen products like this advertised before, and you know, from what I've seen, they always revert back to their old look after the sun has dried out the plastics. But we might be ordering some new ones anyways, because if we look at the other one here, it's clear somebody tried to paint it and it just does not look good. I'm wondering if somebody tried to put some body filler on here and smooth it over, much like this piece was whenever we pulled it off of the tailgates. Now, these can be had on Amazon too, just like this center trim piece. And you can actually get this all as one unit. And had I noticed this before, I probably would have done that. But, oh well, we'll get that on order. We're gonna get these replaced because I'd rather just have it looking right. But let's go get those hinges installed, get this tailgate on, and admire our hard work. Now to install these hinges, this is pretty simple. Looks like we just got some Torx bolts, one above and one below on both sides here. And of course the tailgate, to pull it off, you're gonna lift it off at that 45-degree angle. Just like that.
Because you're a dang hunk, that's why you dangus.
And here we can actually see the difference of these hinges. These ones I picked up at Advance are labeled left and right, and they even tell you which direction they go. And so you can see the difference here is pretty astounding. So you would get nowhere without replacing these guys on both sides. And you're going to be using a T50 bit on this. Slide those right in there, and we're going to get this thing taken off just like this. Now unfortunately, the gate's a little narrow, so I can't fit the truck through it. That's okay. We're gonna make it work anyways. This fitment on here is pretty tight. It is not wanting to go. It's having a hard time sliding on this thing. Might have to file that out. It looks like paint got in there, which makes this, oh, so much freaking harder. So, hi, me from the future here. So it took me a while to realize that this is something called a tension rod, and it's actually snapped in half inside of the tailgate. So I'm not going to be using this anymore, and in fact, it totally makes our new hinges we bought useless. I think I'm going to have to clearance this thing out a little bit to get it to go on here, and that could just be because there's paint in here, or because our little dormant piece is not quite as good as a factory one would be. I've got the advanced auto hinge on the left side, and on the right side I've reused the factory Ford hinge because it looks like it's pretty similar, and I think just the driver's side is the one that was the issue. Let's see if this works. Change of plans number 2. It looks like I can just pull this rod, which is conveniently rusted and broken, throw it away, and I'm going to use the factory cup style hinge that came on my 99 tailgate. I know it seems like we're going in circles, but bear with me. I'm just trying to figure this out, and what I've read online is not coinciding with what's happening in front of me. So looks like that's how it's done. And overall, I think I'm happy with it. It was worth the effort. So we just reused the factory hinges and pulled out the rod that goes through here. And that seemed to do the trick, at least for me. Now, if you don't have a rod that's rusted through and you can't pull it out, well, I can't guarantee this will work, but it did work for me. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it. Let's test it out. How cool am I? Now that's worth it, because I have degenerative disc disease.
Whoa, oh la la, whoa, king in the castle, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair. Oh, go do this.
Well, I am ecstatic with how this tailgate looks on this truck. I love the Super Duty logo at the bottom. Obviously, I love the step. Some of you might complain and call me an old man, but that might be true.
Popo don't know that, dude. The Popo thing is water, baby, but this motherfucking Grey Goose, baby.
But the step is super nice and it is very utilitarian. And overall, the finish on this turned out pretty good. My quick, two-step polish I did. And then, if anything, some of the gaps are not perfectly even. And this side sits a little bit higher than this, but that can be adjusted with the hinges. Just goes to show you that you can take a tailgate from a truck a decade newer and throw it on these old trucks and they fit perfectly. You got to give it to Ford for making these trucks nearly identical in their underpinnings to these trucks up to 2016, which just baffles me. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. Go out, get you one of these tailgates and throw it on your truck. It is really nice and it does clean up the back end of this a little bit. Now we just have to address the beat up bed. That's for another day though. Stay tuned as always. Let us know what you like and what you don't, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.